All right, good evening and welcome to tonight's seminar, or let's say this is a real webinar actually. This is Attila Kuhn from LaSalle, Ontario, Canada, and tonight's topic is basically to understanding essential fatty acids and really what is cholesterol and how the two links together. There are so much misleading information out there on the market, and people really don't understand what do we need to have a healthier life, or how we can look after our body. So let's get started here. Everything what I'm showing you tonight is based on real science and biochemistry of the human body. Some of these discoveries are actually made in the last few years, so some of you who might be being skeptical a little bit, please understand science advances all the time, and I'm always searching and looking after the latest information available on the market. Understanding really this word of essential for the human body. What does it mean for us? Basically, a few explanations. Vitally important, absolutely necessary, extremely important for our body, and we must have it for basic biochemistry. So what we are going to talk about today is essential fatty acids. One more time, we must have it for basic biochemistry of our own body. The human physiology requires basically essential fatty acids, cholesterol, 17 minerals, 8 of them are must have, 12 vitamins, 9 of them we must have, and 9 amino acids. These are all necessary in our body to function properly. Without some of these missing, our body cannot, and I repeat this again, cannot function in the maximum or optimum level. EFAs, essential fatty acids. Overusing or subsidizing any one of these essentials will not replace or balances the other insufficiency. Basically, if you are overloading on omega-3, especially if it's a bad kind of omega-3, or if you're overloading on the derivatives of omega-3, it will not compensate of the missing healthy omega-6s. And vice versa. If you are overloading on bad omega-6s, that does not mean you did something good to your body. The most important element for our basic functioning is the essential fatty acids. But first we must understand how it will be utilized in our body. What is cholesterol? First we need to get familiar a little bit on the understanding of cholesterol. So we need to understand that the cholesterol has a vital role in our body. Many people are so scared that, oh, I might have a high cholesterol and count in my blood's level. However, there are a lot of things what we really have to understand about cholesterol. Is actually a steroid and naturally produced by the body. Actually, the cholesterol, most of it is being produced by your liver. It maintains healthy cells, that's their function, and aid to digestion for immediate energy, building body structures such as a brain, which is 60% fat, bones, intestinal health, skins, nerves, hormone production, including sexual hormones, and your liver health, and used as a building blocks for cell membrane structure of each of 100 trillion cells in your body. So please understand, 100 trillion cells in your body all requires cholesterol. But what is cholesterol? Only 10%, an insignificant amount of blood cholesterol is derived through your diet. 80 to 90% of your blood cholesterol comes from production by the liver, not from preformed cholesterol in foods. So please, it is not the bacon or the sausage which is going to end up in your blood count as high cholesterol level. Very little comes from the food what we eat. Cholesterol is associated with fats in animal derivatives, but it is not a fat. Cholesterol only comes from animal-based foods. No vegetable contains cholesterol. There is two types of cholesterol, LDL and HDL. Cholesterol is neither good nor bad. Yet LDL has the reputation of a bad cholesterol. But LDL cholesterol has a really important functions in our body. LDL stands for low density lipoproteins. Basically their functions is transporting essential fatty acids, the vital fats, into the cell. The high density lipoprotein, HDL, carries toxins and cholesterol out of the cell to the liver. LDL is vital. Vital because it transports the essential fatty acids inside into the cells, as I mentioned it a few seconds ago. EFAs are important nutrients in themselves, providing the cell with what it needs to have a healthy structure. They also carry much needed oxygen to the cell, which protects the cell from irreparable damage that leads to all sorts of diseases. So basically, the essential fatty acids will be carried into your cells with the LDL cholesterol. Let's understand a tiny bit on saturated fats. Saturated fat and cholesterol in the diet are not the cause of coronary heart disease. That myth is the greatest scientific deception of the century, and perhaps any century. There's the reference for it. Please understand, in a blood clot, a person who passes away in a heart attack, when they are examined their blood clot, there is no saturated fat in the clot. Also, saturated fat is actually the only thing, animal-based saturated fat is the only thing which will increase the level of HDL, the so-called good cholesterols in your blood. Carbs. Adipose tissue fat is stored only when you are eating carbohydrates. Today's food, what we are eating, pretty much anything what you buy which is packaged, boxed, canned or refined, they are pretty much includes bad carbs. There is no biochemical mechanism in your body to directly store dietary fat as excess body fat in yourself. The only mechanism in the body used for storing body fat originates from sugar, basically carbohydrates consumption. This is from principle of medical biochemistry. Let's look at carbohydrates. So in your entire blood, all your blood, there is only 1 teaspoon of sugar what you have. So it's in, how do I say it? Basically in our entire system there's a very tiny bit of a sugar what we need. But if you're gonna eat, let's say 2 slices of whole wheat bread, this 1 teaspoon of sugar in your blood will be increased probably about 16 to 20 teaspoons of sugar. So what happens in your body immediately, your pancreas is going to producing insulin to try to lower the glucose level in your, the blood sugar level, and eventually basically what happens is constantly producing insulin. Now until your system, your entire body is focusing on getting rid of the sugar, burning and utilizing the sugar, metabolizing the sugar, it is not touching any of your body fat. So you cannot lose weight when there is insulin presence in your body. Heart attack. No clear correlation was ever found between serum, blood cholesterol levels, and the nature and extent of arteriosclerosis heart disease. But what happens is basically with these cholesterol particles, when we are overloading our body with bad essential fatty acids, which is in cooking oils, margarines, what we call them adulterated oils, they will damage the cholesterol particles or the cholesterol molecules, and basically they shrink in their size. And what we call these are esterified cholesterols, damaged cholesterol, will be able to get stuck and settle down into tiny inflammation cracks of the artery walls. And it's going to start to accumulate there, and if you are eating high calcium substance like calcium pills, basically they're going to start to calcify, and this is one of the major causes of heart disease. Bad cooking oils, margarines, and in the addition to this, all the sugar what comes from basically from bread, pasta, and any other type of starchy foods. All of these, as you are metabolizing it, is going to turn into sugar. These sugar molecules will bind to proteins. So basically this is called glycation. Now glycated and damaged LDL cholesterol will go and circulating all over in the bloodstream, and also will enter into your brain. 60% of the brain is fat. As a matter of fact, they are essentially fatty acids, omega-3 and omega-6. Also, the brain really needs omega-3. However, omega-3 has also two derivatives, which I'm going to explain in a couple of seconds later. Without these, your brain cannot function healthy. So think about this. Damaged omega-3 or omega-6 will be entered and transported with damaged cholesterol into the brain. It's a disaster with the sugar combined. It's impossible to function healthy with these. The world's premier medical journal, the Lancet, stated back in 1994 that no saturated fats were found in aortic plaque. These are, Lancet is actually the world's most renowned medical journal. This means that eating saturated fat does not cause heart disease. Please, I'm not saying that now you need to overload yourself on bacons and sausages and stuff like that. Okay, because also if these animals were fed with grains, with corn, and they were not pasture fed, already the fat inside of these animals has too much accumulated chemicals through the feed, and it's also damaging the essential fatty acids omega-6 in those animals. You need to know that the heart disease was nearly non-existent before 1920s, when the American diet was based on meat and potatoes. Eat fat. Eat more fat and protein and lower my cholesterol. This sounds absolutely absurd. However, if you do go into studies, what I just stated, this was known back in 1956. Yes, believe it or not, when the body receives good natural fats, including saturated fats, like the fat on meat and essential fatty acids, it will balance itself and the cholesterol level will normalize. The body needs both saturated and unprocessed polyunsaturated fats, essential fatty acids, as much as it needs protein for body structure. Cholesterol level. The more natural, real cholesterol-rich foods you eat, the lower serum cholesterol level will be in your bloodstream. The less cholesterol in your diet, the higher your serum cholesterol will be. So basically, if your diet is based on very high carbohydrates, like you eating too much pastas, too much potatoes, too much bread, understand your liver is going to start to producing excess amount of cholesterol because it's trying to protecting your body from the sugar. High carbohydrates diet is destroying us. If it would be true what they are explaining to us in those so-called food pyramid or my plate designs, that what's supposed to be eat and what is supposed to be in our diet, then Americans and the whole world is not getting sicker in the past 60 years, but we're supposed to get healthier. However, it is an epidemic now. Alzheimer's, diabetes, and obesity. And this is all due to sugars and carbohydrates. But why is this? Because of you don't give your body the right foods. It will attempt to overcompensate for what it is lacking, thereby producing more cholesterol. Let's understanding a tiny bit on omega-6, omega-3, and 9. These are called essential fatty acids. Omega-9 will only become essential fatty acids if your body does not receive omega-6, omega-3 in the proper ratio. For a healthy individual who has no health concerns, the right ratio would be 1:1. So equal amount of omega-6, omega-3. However, we are overeating. The North American diet is overloaded with about 50-1 of bad omega-6s. Please understand that when you buy a French fries, it was cooked in, let's say, some vegetable oils, which is already adulterated, it's already oxidized, it's already bad oil for our system. And now that's also adds up with all the other ingredients you are eating. Whether you are buying anything in box, it's a cookie, or you bought an apple pie, anything is using shortening or margarine. Those are all adds up to these bad omega-6s. we need unadulterated, which means unoxidized, healthy omega-6 and omega-3 in our diet, and then our body will produce omega-9. Omega-9 is basically found in oleic acid, like olive oil. Now, omega-6 also has two derivatives. It's called AA, arachidonic acid and gamma-linolenic acid. Our body is able to work with these. Basically, if you receive the parent, the full content of omega-6, the derivatives will be produced in our body. Omega-3 is called alpha-linolenic acid. It has two derivatives of it, DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, and eicosapentaenoic acid. Both of them are needed for our body. The DHA is one of the most important particles in our brain. Now, if you go to a store, you are going to be able to buy omega-3 fish oils, or as a matter of fact, there will be a big sign on it, DHA. Okay, don't be fooled by this, because DHA is only the derivative of omega-3. And all omega-3 fish oil supplements on the market are already oxidized bad. If you overload, remember in the very beginning on the slides, I mentioned that if you overload in any of these, your body won't function healthy. If you overload your body with DHA, it isn't good. If you eat the parent, the full omega-3, which is cold-pressed botanical seeds, okay, it's coming from that source, your body will produce the necessary derivatives for the brain. Linolenic acid, omega-6. LA is an essential fatty acid. The form in which it is ingested is critical. And this is where all the past 20-30 years of nutritional so-called expert went wrong. Because they stating that we are already eating way too much omega-6 and this is actually damaging to the human body. And it is true. But what they do not mention, that all of those bad adulterated omega-6s are coming from oxidized, industry-used, chemically produced vegetable oils, which most of them are hydrogenated. In the past several decades, processed food, in particular frozen foods and restaurant cooking oils, have increasingly incorporated these trans fats and other unhealthy fats in their oils. So please understand, what is really bad for us are these transformed fats, trans fats. Like, for example, shortening is absolutely horrid for the human body. You should never ever use shortening for anything. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't use margarines or any vegetable-based oils. Moreover, when heated in the air, the omega-6 in these oils changes the hydroperoxides, which are biochemically damaging for our body. Functions of omegas: provide nutrition to the cell and bonds oxygen molecules, especially omega-6 LA, double bonds and supplies the cell with vital oxygen. And you will understand in the end of the slide shows that why is oxygen in the cell is so important for us. I tell you right now, if you resolve this oxygenation into the cell, you basically able to save yourself from cancer and from heart attack. Don't let anyone ever tell you that natural fats are bad. 100 trillion cells needs lots of essential fatty acids containing these natural fats, especially parent omega-6. But please understand, you need it in the healthy, not the oxidized forms. If just a little of this parent omega-6 is defective, reducing its ability to absorb oxygen and perform other cellular functions, it acts as direct cause of both heart disease and cancer. So please, this is what happens. If you are eating any type of adulterated oils, margarine, shortening, cooking oils, and it goes into your food supplies, the cholesterol will utilize the bad adulterated, chemically damaged omega-6, omega-3, and because your body does not receive the healthy ones, therefore it will combine and incorporate it and utilize it into your cell membranes. And this is where all pretty much the diseases begins from. Lack of omega-6 in the diet. if there is a deficiency of full of functionally omega-6 in your diet, the body will substitute into the cell membrane and non-essential fatty acids such as, for example, omega-9, like which is found in olive oil. So if you don't eat the healthy fats, your body will utilize and substitute into the cell membranes the bad ones. Bad, damaged cells will not be able to function healthy and won't be able to fight for any other type of disease or any type of dangers entering into your body. This forced substitution results in the marked decrease of cellular oxygen transport with adverse effects on cellular metabolism and function, including possible chronic hypoxia to the heart, leading to potential myocardial dysfunction. The result is less functional LA omega-6 for incorporation into the cell membranes and subsequent conversion into important arachidonic acid, so the derivatives. Other oils like cooking oils, margarine, or flaxseed oil and fish oil supplements are far too unstable due to processing, and their recommendations are dangerous as they are opposed to our own personal biology, our physiology, and our biochemistry. We cannot utilize those, at least not in the healthy way as we needed. Defective LDL cholesterol. Huge number of molecules in the omega-6 based cooking oils are ruined by commercial food processing. The body then incorporates these adulterated, oxidized oils into the low density cholesterol, slowing them down. Basically what happens is it's going to start to clumping and slowing down your red blood cells flow. There will be less oxygen presence in your red blood cells. Some of you seen those video clips when we're showing them before drinking soy, after drinking soy. Those red blood cells basically clumping together because damaged LDL cholesterol are carrying now damaged omega-6s with less oxygen molecules. This is basically heading for disaster. With the consumption and transport of defective cancer-causing processed oils, LDL cholesterol acts like a poison delivery system, bringing deadly trans fats and other ruined oils into the cells. It is primarily the oxidized, altered, adulterated, oxidized parent omega-6 that clogs the arteries, not the saturated fats. Poison delivery system. LDL cholesterol, as I mentioned it, acts like a poison delivery system, bringing deadly trans fats and other ruined oils into the cells. Inside your cells, the mitochondria needs healthy essential fatty acids. The cell membrane itself needs essential fatty acids. If your skin is dry, no matter how much water you're gonna drink to hydrate yourself, it's only how do I say? It's a myth. You need healthy fats to hydrate your skin. For example, 70% of your skin is omega-6. But imagine that if all your skin is always getting is bad omega-6s. It's going to go into disaster. Basically, you are drying and shivering up, just like you're basically turning into like a beef jerky almost. I mean, I am sorry for the language, but that's the fact. The oxidized parents omega-6 in the phospholipids found in the lipoproteins, fats surrounded by protein in the bloodstream for easy transportation, and defective parent omega-6 in the cholesterol esters are the main causes of heart disease, not the cholesterol itself. So please understand, if you eat healthy, if your body will have the right fats, the healthy fats, your liver will not producing overloading you with cholesterol. It will stabilize your cholesterol levels. LDL cholesterol is improperly blamed. As a matter of fact, this LDL cholesterol has to be present in your brain. If it's not enough in your brain will not function healthy. Every single those electrical sparks, those synapses in the brain, they need the LDL cholesterol to be able to sending signals from one to another. Conclusion to LDL and EFAs. With the consumption of organic unprocessed EFAs, essential fatty acid, rather than adulterated oils and trans fats, LDL cholesterol should be made up of significant amounts of properly functioning parent omega-6 and a result, it will not be harmful. Please understand, we do need omega-3s as well. The reason I'm emphasizing at the moment on omega-6s because the North American diet is overloaded with toxic, oxidized, bad omega-6s. We need to balance it out with healthy omega-6s, which is present in sole. As a matter of fact, to mention about sole, I have yet not found one company on the market which has the combination on the right context of omega-3s and omega-6s. We do not have a competition, and every single human person in this earth needs sole. LDL is the natural transporter of parent omega-6 and parent omega-3 into the cells. So understand, if your LDL cholesterol is damaged through sugar and all these essential fatty acids are damaged through your diet, they will be incorporated into the cells, into the cell membranes, and is going to start to creating damage. It's just a matter of time before your body will not be able to function properly. That's why it is necessary to lower LDL cholesterol. This is why it's not necessary. So it's a misunderstanding that oh, I have to lower my LDL cholesterol. No, what you need to do is to changing the quality of your cholesterol. Absolute LDL number, the numbers are really not important. Okay, when the diet contains sufficient and adulterated what we call parent essential oils, then doesn't matter the cholesterol bad or good. There is no such thing as bad or good cholesterol. So really, when they are prescribing, sort of, for example, statin, what they're trying to do, they will lower the cholesterol. That is a fact, but they are lowering because they have to lower already the adulterated carrying cholesterols in the bloodstream, because the essential fatty acids are the one is damaged. So if you replacing it, your body will itself stabilizes it by itself. You will not need statin. As a matter of fact, statin is mimicking exactly what's the functions in sole. And sole is actually organic and healthy, no side effects. Conclusion to the LDL and essential fatty acid. The body has no natural cholesterol sensor in the bloodstream. So think about this. 100 trillions of cells needs it in your body. All your hormones need it, your skin needs it, your brain needs cholesterol. Yet they try to lower your cholesterol with chemically produced medications. It's insanity. Now, if the cholesterol, the number of cholesterol would be bad, the body would have a natural cholesterol sensor. Wouldn't that make sense? For example, our body has a sodium, a calcium, and a glucose sensor in our body. If we have too much glucose, immediately we are going to get produced insulin. So what I'm saying that the nature would have designed our body by itself that, hey, if cholesterol would be bad in our body, there would be a sensors for it, but there is no sensor for it. Cholesterol is not bad. But one more time, damaged cholesterol with damaged essential fatty acids are the problem. For example, glucose level I maintained, as I already mentioned that. I already mentioned the teaspoon in your blood, so I don't want to repeat the same thing. I skip on this. So nature basically implemented biological sensor mechanisms only when it's required. There is no need for a cholesterol sensor because the absolute number of cholesterol serums is irrelevant in your blood. Conclusion one more time to LDL and essential fatty acids. LDL cholesterol transports essential fatty acids into your cell. We already established this many times on the previous slides. I just want to keep repeating that. Any condition leading to decreased blood flow with its consequent increased likelihood of forming clots helps the localized cancer to spread, metastasize. We need to avoid slow blood flow. So sugar, adulterated oils, essential fatty acids, not damaged cholesterols, are basically slowing the oxygenation in the blood flow. Any drug that artificially lowers cholesterols also lowers transport of cancer-fighting essential fatty acids. So please understand, if you are going to taking these medications like statin, is also going to lower the transportation of the healthy essential fatty acids into the cell membrane. The fibrates and statins should be avoided except in patients at high short-term risk of coronary heart disease. So I understand that when you are in a dangerous situation and in an emergency situation, they will administer something and you have to be on it for a short while. But please, simply by changing your diet, you will be able to change everything in your body. And yes, soul has these ingredients, natural, organic ingredients. Conclusion. The correct answer here is to take a daily supply of unprocessed, properly functioning essential fatty acid, not cut them out from your diet. Today, probably you understand how important for us is soul. 1. Ruined EFAs, essential fatty acid arterial blockage, cause decreased blood speed, and even worse. It is clear that because the analysis of aortic arterial plaque is so high in oxidized and ruined omega-6 polyunsaturated oils, consumption of defective polyunsaturated fats and oils is the most important reason your arteries being clogged and becoming clogged. We need to replace for good omega-3 and omega-6s in our diet. Conclusion 2. Additionally, they are also the root cause of blood clots forming in the arteries and not being able to dissolve away naturally. Blood clots are a tremendous problem with cancer cases, estimated to be responsible for over 80% of the cancer mortality rate because they facilitate cancer transport throughout the body when it would not have spread without blood clots. Isn't that amazing? So if you change basically the healthy omega-6s into your blood, healthy omega-3s into your blood, you're reducing the possibility of blood clots, which means you are reducing the possibility of transforming, basically facilitating cancer spreading through with your blood in your body. The pharmaceutical manufacturers continue with the absurd theory guess that your body's own cholesterol causes heart disease. Please understand, your cholesterol does not cause heart disease. Bad essential fatty acids settling into the walls, into everywhere in your body, of your arteries, into your cells, and basically they are able to clump and creating these blood clots. Not saturated fat. One more time. Conclusion 3. I want to make it categorically clear that once the EFA issue is solved, the cholesterol issue fades away. Can you believe in this? All you have to do is, when your cholesterol level is too high, to increase the healthy essential fatty acids in your diet, and your body itself will resolve the cholesterol issues. One last bit of an information. The fact that saturated fats do not clog arteries was known and published back in 1956 in The Lancet, the world's most prestigious medical journal. Articles warned about the massive heart disease epidemic that would come and the massive cancer rates along with it. Now we know that cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's is a rise in the past 50 years. As a matter of fact, Ontario health statistics shows that 1 out of 3 Canadians developing and dying from cancer. Too bad for these warnings. Very few listened. Cancer. Insufficient functional parent omega-6 and the omega-3 is cancer causing. Any condition leading to decreased blood flow with its consequent increased likelihood of forming clots helps a localized cancer to spread. We need to avoid slow blood flow. In 1976, the medical journal Pediatrics investigated abnormal fatty acid consumption and impaired oxygen supply. They showed essential fatty acids, omega-6 deficiency, leads to the extant condition what Dr. Warburg showed was always cancer causing. Lack of oxygen, cellular oxygenation. So please understand, polyunsaturated fats like omega-6, they are able to bind more oxygen molecules. If they are healthy omega-6s, they will load up your cells with oxygen. This isn't the same when you are exercising and you are inhaling and getting more oxygen. This is called cellular oxygenation. But when cellular oxygenation is deprived by 35%, the cells itself, they can become cancerous within 48 hours. A cancerous cell cannot be cured. It cannot be reversed. So this is why they're using chemotherapy and surgeries, because they have to get rid of the cancerous cells. The only other options what a person has who already have cancer to stop eating any form of sugar. Please learn and study more on sugars, or if you guys want, I will put together another presentation specifically on that. But understand that I'm going to say a few things. Let's say yogurt, good hard cheese, steak, chicken, fish, kefir, eggs. If I did not say something else, those are all carbohydrates and will be turned into sugar in your body. And sugar will be utilized by the cancer cells because that's the only way they can get their energy supplies. So when a healthy cell becomes cancerous, they will try to survive in an environment then when there is no oxygen present. And now what happens is basically anywhere in your body, in your digestive system, if there will be sugar, fermentation of these sugars, and that's what cancer cells will be switched to try to survive and live off from. In 1931, Dr. Otto Warburg received the Nobel Prize. He was a biochemist. I have his researches, and in the past 4 or 5 months I studied thousands of pages of his work. Most basic causes of cancer is too little oxygen getting into the cell. So tonight in this webinar you understand cholesterol, especially LDL cholesterol, carries essential fatty acids into the cell, but if the essential fatty acids are damaged, there will be lack of oxygen bonding to them, so therefore the next thing is going to happen, the cell will be deprived by oxygenation. Understand, cancer takes decades to develop, but once it reaches this 35% ratio, it will develop into cancerous tumors. This has been demonstrated over and over and over again in the past 60-70 years of every single cancer studies. Cancer is not inherited down by genetics. You cannot inherit cancer. Cancer is caused by environmental toxins basically, or toxicity due to chemicals. Those are the secondary issues. But the primary cause of cancer is basically lack of cellular oxygenation, and the only way you can do that by essential healthy fatty acids which found in soul. Now tonight you understand that soul is vital. This is not a vitamin hype. This is not just another company selling some oh yeah, we need some minerals or some vitamins. Please understand that if you would buy all these ingredients, what's in soul, you are going to spend hundreds of dollars a month to try to compensate what's already pressed and compressed into this little package of soul. Essential fatty acids are highly oxygen absorbing and must be supplied from outside. So you need to eat these. Your body cannot manufacture them. If you eat the healthy fats, it will make and produces the derivatives, which I mentioned that in the beginning of the slides. All symptoms of fibromyalgia are caused by cellular oxygen deprivation. You might have seen older folks like that. Now please understand, and all of this adds to this, is eventually going to affect your brain, and it's going to basically creating a havoc in the brain, and the first signs are memory loss, dementia, Alzheimer's. If somebody develops type 2 diabetes, 50% more chance they are going to also develop Alzheimer's. As a matter of fact, now there is a diabetes 3 epidemic which is actually happening in the brain. But that will be another topic, maybe another day. Here's the statistics on the bottom of these slides. 1 in 3 Canadians will die of cancer. Please guys, this is the same all over in the United States as well. So all I'm saying here, I'm begging you to wake up and understand the simple mechanism of your body. You need essential fatty acids, so then your cholesterol will be healthy and there will be nutrition and oxygenation into your cellular structures. Without essential fatty acids, we do not have a chance, absolutely no chance for us to have a healthy or a possibly optimally functioning body. One more thing, healthy blood do not grow cancer cells. The only way you are going to get a healthy blood through healthy essential fatty acids. Cut down the carbohydrates because it's destroying everybody. Take out the margarines and switch to healthy essential fats. I hope you did like the tonight presentation. Thank you very much for listening. This was Attila, and if you have any questions, I will be available. Please send me an email, Skype, phone, you know me. God bless you all, and thank you for listening. Good night.